Hello, welcome to Selenium Cucumber integration video series. This is the third video of this series. In this video, I'll show you how to do data-driven testing in Cucumber. The prerequisite for this video is you should be familiar with creating basic features and integrating with the step definition files. If you are not familiar with this, I recommend you to go through the part 1 and part 2 of this video series. The steps involved in this demonstration is creating a scenario with scenario outline keyword instead of scenario, and then add the test data table with examples keyword in Gherkin. And then the next steps are more or less same like in the previous video. Create the step definitions and integrate the steps with Selenium Java code, and then finally run the test scenario. The sample test scenario that we are going to use in this video, again our demo site, HRM demo site, where you try to log in with invalid input data combination and verify the error message using same test scenario. Let's create the new scenario within the same feature file that we created in the previous video. Let's see. And you can see that we have scenarios and scenario outline. This time I'll select scenario outline for multiple and I'll write my scenario definition: login with invalid credentials, and given I have actually I'm reusing the previous steps, so this is an advantage that I have, and I press all Control L to format it, and don't worry about this error line. If you bring the cursor, you can see that example section is missing, and this will go away when we introduce the example section with the data table. Okay, and when I type username, and this time I give username here, and this will treat as a variable or other column heading, and use then keyword. I type password, this one I will select this one, and instead of a string I type password to make it more readable and distinct, and I click login button, and this time I can reuse this one. Of course I can use almost all steps here. Then finally I should, and this one should be the error message. Okay, now everything is fine, but I need to pass the parameters or the values into these parameters, so that when the test is run, rather when the scenario is executed, the data should be assigned to these variables, right? And let me show you how to do it. Examples, and you need to have pipe character, user name, and you can see that the the color is changed, and it identified that the syntax is correct and the column name is identified. Then the second one is password, and also the same thing happened, an error message, and with the pipe character. And also now you can type username admin and password. Let me see what is there. Okay, then password is invalid, and this should be invalid credentials, right? Then I should have test user password, say ptl attach 321, and again it's invalid credentials, control V, and I will press all control L to format it. Similarly, I should be right. If I go to website and go to hrmpragmatictestlabs.com and press here, username cannot be empty when both the fields are empty. So let me try this, and it should be, I press Ctrl D to duplicate it because I'm going to have more. Username cannot be empty, username cannot be empty when I have both blank, and one is ptl attach 321. And the next scenario will be you have some username and password is blank, and erase password cannot be blank. And I have something here, it's admin. The syntax you're missing here. Okay, additional, and press all control L to format it again. Now the data table is created. Let's review what we have done here. We added scenario outline keyword instead of scenario. And always when you have a scenario outline, you need to have an associated table with the examples keyword like here. And the data should be parameterized, and the parameters should be within double quotation and enclosed with angled bracket like this, instead of just double quotation as in this test scenario. Now it's ready to run, and you can reuse all these steps as in the previous video and existing step definition file. Now when you run it, it will run the test for each and every row, and so it will run for 5 times. And let's see how it runs. You can right click and say run test scenario. Okay. All the tests pass, but the browsers were not closed, so we should automate that as well here. So let's go to the login steps with the before, and you can add after cucumber and public void after, and add WebDriver dot close to close the browser window, and this time it should be fine. Let's run and see how it works. Okay, this time the browser is getting close. Thank you very much. We'll see some more advanced stuff in upcoming videos.